So in this video I'm going to be attempting to fit a hydraulic handbrake onto my MR2 Spider, which is a Mark III retaining ABS. So watch this video to find out how. That's a good one! Well, gym ladder. We're building a gym ladder, but first it's gonna be in an actual MR2 because Gymkhana is coming up and I need to drive the car first, because obviously it's going to be essentially just a ladder on top, but it's still going to be an MR2 and I want to feel the drive. And it's something that I always preach, me and Eden, in our podcast, that you need to drive the car. Stop building it for years and years. And that's what I don't want to happen. I want to drive it first, get used to it, do all the essential suspension and stuff like that, and then put the body on top. Anyways, for Gymkhana we need a handbrake, one of these jobbies. Unfortunately, MR2 has an ABS. A lot of cars have ABS, but this one actually has dual sort of control going to the rear. I could, of course, completely remove ABS and just have it with no ABS, but I really want ABS because A, I'm fitting ABS back into the Clio Motorsport version, so I want to try and retain ABS, and in any case, if I don't like it, I can always remove it. So the only way to do it I found feasible is to actually link up the master cylinder from master cylinder before the ABS. You basically loop it with your thing, but we need to find a place to fit it. So the original location for the shifting mechanism is somewhere around here, like this. So you have your stick and then you like blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna raise it using these spacers. These are 72 mil spacers. Don't ask me why 72. So it's going to be raised, and then we're going to move it slightly back, as you can see by this plate. So it's going to move slightly back and slightly to the right. Why are you moving it to the right, you asking? Well, because I'll show you. Because there is just about enough space for the handbrake to sit right on the side of the shifter. I am truly hoping that the first gear is not going to be too close to the handbrake, and should be theoretically I should still be able to sort of stick it, but I don't think I'll be using first gear, so it's second and third. It should be okay, but there is not much space because obviously we have seats, obviously we have this perch. So what I've done already, I modified this ever so slightly. This is actually from the Clio. I welded a bunch of things to it. I don't need it in a Clio. So this thing has been slightly modified if you're planning to do the same thing. Obviously I don't know if you're going to use the same handbrake, but I had to notch this just for the bolt. I had to remove this little bracket that is redundant just so the thing can see it closer, and then there's a little notch here just for the bolt. That's it. This thing is as standard as it gets, and then we just drill this plate. This plate will bolt into this place, and then I'll probably weld those aluminium sort of uprights onto here, just so this plate is permanent with the uprights. And then once we bolt everything together, which should be absolutely fine with sort of positioning of everything except for the actual handbrake, because I want to retain the original handbrake as well. Don't ask me why. I want this car MOT'd so I can actually drive it on the road for a bit. Yes, convertible, look at this. And then we might have to move the original handbrake slightly, or maybe even twist it, depending on how one of the cables sort of routes. It's all absolutely doable, so let's drill a couple of holes and then I'll show you how it all bolts up.
12 seconds later.
Just like that. There was no need to show you how I cut this piece of aluminium and drilled some holes, but the important thing is it bolts like that, and I can still move the passenger seat, which is an absolute bonus. So now we bolt the thingy bob onto it. Hey, look, all my measurement is lining up with every hole. It's almost like I've done it before. Let's bolt this together. There's plenty of space everywhere. And then we'll find somehow a way to locate this.
12 seconds later.
This is really not a tutorial, guys. Yes. So we have a plate that's raised 72 mil. Don't ask me why 72. Can be 70, can be anything you want. Then there is a plate on top, 155 mil by whatever the things. It's offset about an inch back. And then we have this thing sort of bolted in 3 places to the side of it. And as far as I can tell, the shifter should not be in the way of you So as predicted, and this is still not, the only thing you hit is like this if you hold the shifter. But realistically, how often you're gonna use number 1? Probably not that often. And hitting it, you're not really hitting it that hard anyway. So the first one, if you do it like that, it's absolutely fine. I could theoretically weld this and bend it more forward, but it already moved about an inch towards back. Maybe I should move it a little bit more. In that case, if I re-weld the top shaft so it's actually a bit higher and a bit to the side, you know what, let's do that. Next steps would be plumbing the hydraulic. This is your out, this is your input. A lot of people think that this is the input, this is the out. No, it's reverse. So from here, this goes into the master. So this is where the fluid comes in. And from here, this is supposed to go to your rear wheels. But in my case, this is going to go to the ABS, because the ABS is basically in between controlling all the ABS stuff for the road use. Very happy. Yes, you can move the seats. It's tight. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's tight, and maybe on a road car this is not gonna work, but who is gonna do that on a road car, let's be honest. Totally forgot to film how I did this, but I mean, literally. Small extension, it's about 20 mil for the end, just to increase the leverage. And then this thing, this was actually, funny enough, this is, where is it? I had another one. Anyways, this was an old shock absorber inner shaft, and diameter is the same. I assume it's hardened steel, it's really thick wall, so I just sort of heated it up, bend it, so this is the part, and actually the thread is exactly the same. I know, right? It's almost like it's meant to be. It's exactly the same thread, so this would literally just screw on like this. So yeah, a longer shaft. Now it's time to run the lines. I'm using copper nickel line, not pure copper. You don't really want pure copper, you want copper nickel lines. They're not very expensive. So one for here, one for there. So this on the master cylinder, this is your rear circuit. And this line goes into this input output port on the ABS. Actually, this is input because obviously your pressure goes from here into the ABS. So in fact, we're basically putting hydraulic brake in line. So imagine instead of this, you basically have a handbrake. So it should work exactly the same way as a normal thing before the ABS, and then ABS will kick in. I'm thinking that obviously because I'll have ABS, if you lock the rear wheels, it will think that, oh my god, we have ABS. So it'll try to do something maybe with the ABS. So maybe for actual drifting and stuff, I will take the fuse out of the ABS, disabling the ABS altogether. So it'll basically just be a dummy unit. So now what we have to do is bend the line sort of nice and neat on the bulkhead, put the fitting. I think they're M10 fittings, most Toyotas are. And then we will plug first one in, fill with a bit more fluid, and start pressing brake until this one reaches the hydraulic, and then we'll start doing the hydraulic. The idea with that is I want the whole line to be filled with fluid before I connect it to the ABS, minimizing the amount of air going into the ABS. Now it's all connected, well, on the one side. Let's run some fluid through it and see what we have. So I ran some fluid through it. so I know that the fluid is somewhere in this pipe, obviously, because it was coming out. So now that when I put it inside the ABS pump, there will be absolutely minimal air in the system. At least those pipes are filled with brake fluid.
A few moments later.
All right, see if you can spot a problem. Yes. Well, on this channel, I do not bullshit you guys. If something doesn't go according to plan, it doesn't go according to plan. Me reading on internet that this is for the rear, wrong. This is for the front. How do I know this? Well, it's because I connected everything, bled everything, and it's not working. Why is it not working? Because I put a hydraulic handbrake for the front wheels, for staging and all that stuff. Anyways, now you know. Front for the rear, rear for the front. So what I have to do, luckily I did not throw away or cut this tube. Quite simple. Put this back on and those lines go to the other ports.
Tomorrow for sure.
And we're done. In my opinion, very easy conversion. I'm so glad that I found this idea of how to just put it before the ABS, so literally just 2 lines. So you can see 2 lines in here, and what I don't like is this little play. I'm not sure if there's anything I can do about it. The cylinder is 750. I might have to change it, I'm not sure. We'll try it. I already tried it, it actually does work. Yeah, it's a good position, so we have your sort of first, second and all that stuff, and yeah, let me show you how it's at the front. As you can see, you have 1 line coming from the master cylinder, from your brake pedal, and that goes into your hydraulic, and another line coming back from the hydraulic into ABS pump. And this is where you do all your locking with a hand, and then ABS can actually do all its work, providing you have the resistor, the breaker, the fuse. I removed the fuse, but yeah, if I want to take it on the road, I'll put the fuse back on. So super nice and simple. And remember, it's the front of the master cylinder that you need for the conversion, not the rear. So don't follow every internet tutorial to the T. So it's the front. Guys, I hope you like this video. Very quickly, how to convert your MRS, MR2 Mark III, MR2 Spider, MR2 Roadster. Gosh, there's so many different names. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Painting next time.